Have you ever had anyone test to see if you were faking an allergy? When I was 14, I had a peanut allergy that could literally kill me. Like even the tiniest bit of peanut dust could send me straight to the hospital. My EpiPen was attached to me like a third arm. Everyone who knew me understood this wasn't some joke. My throat would close up and I'd be done for. My best friend back then was this kid named Ryan. We'd been tight since 3rd grade, always hanging out, playing video games, the usual stuff. His mom, Karen, was one of those parents who always seemed a little annoyed by everything kids did these days. She'd roll her eyes whenever someone mentioned food allergies or accommodations at school events. One Saturday, Ryan invited me over for lunch. I was excited because Karen was making her famous chicken and rice dish that everyone always talked about. But when I got there, I did what I always did, asked if there were any peanuts or peanut oil in the food. Karen gave me this tight smile and said, "Don't worry, sweetie. It's all safe for you." She set the plate down in front of me and I started eating. It tasted really good, kind of nutty and flavorful, but about halfway through, something felt wrong. My lips started tingling like that weird sensation you get when your foot falls asleep but in your mouth. Then my throat felt scratchy and itchy. I stopped eating and asked Ryan's mom again, "Are you sure there's no peanuts in this?" Karen just stared at me with this weird expression and said, "You're fine, Lucas. Keep eating." But the tingling was getting worse and I could feel my face starting to feel puffy. I jumped up from the table and ran to the bathroom. When I looked in the mirror, my lips were swelling up like balloons and there were red blotchy spots around my mouth. My heart started racing because I knew exactly what was happening. I grabbed my backpack and pulled out my EpiPen with shaking hands. I'd only had to use it twice before, but I knew the drill. I stabbed it into my thigh, right through my jeans, and held it there for 10 seconds. The medicine burned as it went in, but I immediately started feeling a little better. Ryan came running into the bathroom, asking what was wrong. I told him I was having an allergic reaction and needed to go to urgent care right now. He looked confused and scared. While we were waiting for his dad to drive me, Ryan pulled me aside and whispered something that made my blood run cold. "Dude, I have to tell you something. My mom said she didn't believe you were really allergic. She used peanut oil in the chicken to prove it. She thought you were just being picky." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. This woman had deliberately poisoned me just to test if my allergy was real. My hands were still shaking from the EpiPen as we drove to urgent care. The whole time, Karen sat in the front seat, acting like nothing had happened. At urgent care, they gave me more medicine and monitored me for a couple hours to make sure I was okay. When my dad showed up, he was furious. He asked Karen point blank why she'd put peanut oil in food she knew I couldn't eat. Her excuse was even worse than I expected. I thought kids these days just say they're allergic because they're picky eaters. I was trying to show him he'd be fine. Most of these allergies aren't even real. My dad went completely ballistic. He told her she could have killed me and that what she did was basically attempted murder. Karen tried to backtrack and say she didn't know it was that serious, but my dad wasn't having it. The next week, my parents reported her to the school board because Karen volunteered in the cafeteria sometimes. They permanently banned her from volunteering anywhere near food. Word got around the neighborhood pretty quickly about what happened, and most of the other parents stopped letting their kids go over to Ryan's house. Ryan and I stayed friends, but things were never really the same after that. After that day, I never ate at anyone else's house again without bringing my own food or triple-checking every single